I think this belongs to Pereira, but it's just far out from like the center. There's a lot of poverty in our countries here in Latin America. People, when they don't have money to buy property or pay rent, they'll just build illegally on the side of a mountain. I guess you could compare it to El Poblado. They look like kind of like those rich people buildings like from the 80s and 90s. And it looks really nice, honestly, man. Man, every centro has these umbrellas, I swear. Like when you see a bunch of these umbrellas, you know you're in the centro of some city. I don't know where I am, man. I don't know Pereira.
Pereira, the biggest city in the coffee region of Colombia, located in the central Andes Mountains. Many people refer to it as a mini Medellin, but I went to explore the streets of Pereira to see for myself what the city is really like. From the wealthy areas, the downtown and the lower income barrios, to see all sides of this Colombian city. So let's go.
Can y'all tell where I'm at? Looks like Medellin, doesn't it? But I'm in Pereira, the capital of the Risaralda department here in the coffee region of Colombia. A lot of people make the comparison to Medellin, and you know, you can see why. The weather is similar, the people are paisa, kind of looks the same. But I want to give y'all an in-depth video today of Pereira. I want to go to the central area. I want to explore all the little cracks and crevices and just be able to bring y'all the vibe and the energy and the feel of this city through this video. Maybe it'll make y'all want to visit, or if you don't have the opportunity to travel, you'll be able to travel to Pereira through me, through this video. So right here, we are in a part of Pereira called Álamos. Álamos, I guess you could compare it to El Poblado. The buildings are not as modern. They look a little older, you know. They look like kind of like those rich people buildings like from the 80s and 90s. They don't look as modern as the ones in Poblado. And the thing about Pereira being such a small city is I can get to El Centro real quick. I could walk there in like 20 minutes, or I could take one of those orange buses. That one is parked, but look, those go back and forth from El Centro to Álamos. I will say, Pereira definitely has more humidity than Medellin. The humidity here is, you can feel it. The air, it's like, it's dense. And so a few days ago, I lost my GoPro. I was in a pueblo, I put it down on a bench and I got distracted, and 3 minutes later I realized and I lost it. I had to go buy a new one. So all the footage that I recorded those previous days is gone. I went and bought a new GoPro, new SD card, new tripod, this little tripod that I used to hold the GoPro. So we dedicated, guys. So do me a favor, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, help me out, so I can keep traveling and showing y'all more places of Colombia. I want to visit every corner of Colombia on my channel. And look, man, it looks really nice, honestly, man. It looks like a nice place to live, doesn't it? So look, a lot of these kids over here, they're university students because the university's down that way. So we're gonna, I think I'm gonna walk to El Centro instead of take the bus, so we can fill out the vibes over here. But look at the bus. Pereirita. The nickname for Pereira is La Trasnochadora Querendona Morena, something like that. I don't really know what that means, but if anybody knows what that means, I even asked the taxi driver. I was like, why do they call it that? And he was like, honestly, I don't know. That's what they call it. Trasnochadora basically translates to like a woman who sleeps late. Damn, look at this buck. Look at this cement truck. All right, guys, let's go, let's go. Let's see what Pereira has in store for us today. Guys, look, so even though we're in like supposedly the rich area of Pereira, like right down the block, I'm like 2 blocks away from where I started the video. Over here you can see this house is made with like tin and wood, and down here the houses look like, you know, the people down here make less money. I guess we'll put it like that. Look over there too, you can see like a little favela, and that's just, you know, that's just Latin America. There's a lot of poverty in our countries here in Latin America, and people, when they don't have money to buy property or pay rent, they'll just build illegally on the side of a mountain where there's nothing built. And that's how it is in any Colombian city you go to, any Latin American city, you'll pretty much see favelas, and in each country they call it something different. But look, first observation I'll say about Pereira, even though there are some hills, it is much flatter than Medellin. Medellin is like more mountainous and built in the mountains. I feel like the city is more flat. Look. They got some orange trees over here. Ooh, que rico. But it's not bad, you know. This block right here doesn't look bad. Down there, kind of looks. The vibe starts to change a bit. Damn, look at these stairs. That'll take us down there, but there's nothing really over there except barrios. I'm trying to go to El Centro. So let's go. Just keep walking. Look at these flowers. You see, this makes all the difference in making an area more beautiful, filling it with flowers and plants. Look at how much nicer it makes everything look. So I know I said I wasn't gonna take the bus, but just so we get there faster. And I'm kind of curious to see what the buses are like here. It's cool to ride the public transportation in different cities, so let's check it out. I think these people here are waiting for the bus. Yeah, look, it's about to pass. Este bus lo lleva uno al centro.
No.
No. Ah, no.
Pasa por la cuarta.
Se va al centro. Centro, gracias. Bueno.
Entonces hay que tener jugadores que sepan a dónde vienen, dónde van a jugar, la presión que se siente acá, porque eso es tener personalidad. Y cuando esos jugadores acá en América no rinden, juegan otros equipos y son figuras, ahí te das cuenta que América es una institución muy grande, que tiene un escudo, que no.
So the ticket was 3,250 peso. That's like the same as in Medellin. I thought it would be cheaper. Damn, bro, it's a motorcycle accident. The kid didn't stop at the stop sign. So he's bleeding out the head. But he seems to be all right. He could have a concussion. When you ride a motorcycle here, you have to be so careful. But I think their two motorcycles crashed because one of them didn't stop at the stop sign, which is pretty normal in Colombia, and in the whole Latin America, stop signs might as well not even exist. So he told the police that there is an accident right up there. These cops that you see right here in these like olive green, they're like more like military green uniforms. They're like new cops. They're younger than me, these kids. They're like 18, 19 literally. Once they keep progressing in their career, they get a gun. They don't even have guns, these cops here. So this right here is the bus terminal of Pereira. And this bus is kind of taking a long time, and I probably would have gone in there faster by foot. Pero bueno, aquí estamos. Claro, se la arrebatan re duro.
Gracias a Dios. Y es una mechita, pero le quitan la.
Claro. ¿Esto acá cómo se llama esta parte?
La 13.
La 13. Sí, se ve maluquito. Okay. Y eso es parte del centro. Okay.
Eso es como se dice, si usted da papaya.
Claro. ¿Y el parque cuál es? El de la Libertad. Sí, me han dicho que esta parte no es tan buena, que el Parque de la Libertad. Alright guys, we got off the bus. Like y'all were able to see out the window, Pereira is a little rough around the edges. Kind of like the center of Medellin. I mean, Colombian cities, if you're in the centro, it's gonna be a bit dangerous. Especially like what I'm doing, like holding the GoPro in my hand and like talking English. Usually you want to try to blend in and you want to try to like, you know, just move around low key. But over here we make YouTube videos, so we can't be low key, so we just gotta have a little more situational awareness than normal. But man, back there it looked real bad, man. I would honestly be nervous walking around by myself with a camera over there. Like they would single me out and they would start following me and they would find a spot to rob me. And if that didn't happen, that would be lucky, literally. I'm not gonna, you know, go and say, oh yeah, I can go there and I'll be fine, you know, I'll probably be fine. No, like, it's like a 50-50 chance I'm gonna get robbed. All right, guys, check it out. This is El Parque de Bolívar, I think it's called. Like 99% of the parks in Colombia, a statue of Simón Bolívar in the middle. Here he's riding a horse with a torch. I think he's naked. Simón Bolívar, for those of you that don't know, was the general that had a big role in liberating Colombia from Spanish rule. And back then when we first got liberated, it was La Gran Colombia, which is Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, and Panama. That was like the whole sector that he liberated. So in those countries, he's like a hero. That should be the flag of Pereira. That has to be flag of Pereira. Cathedral. Look. They got silletas here, just like in Medellin for la Feria de Flores. They're in fiestas here. The fiestas of Pereira are called las fiestas de la cosecha, because I think it coincides with the coffee harvest season. Cosecha means harvest. So they celebrate this time every year. Every Colombian city has a centro, and each centro kind of has a similar vibe to it. Very commercial, very hustle and bustle. A bit of a danger aspect to it with thieves lurking around. It tends to be a little dirtier. A lot of buses, transportation, businesses, companies. These are the little, man, every centro has these umbrellas, I swear. Like when you see a bunch of these umbrellas, you know you're in the centro of some city. And the quesillo, the Venezuelan flan that they sell everywhere in Colombia now, man. That like went viral. Like there's this one guy who like went viral on TikTok selling it, and that every Venezuelan and their mother started selling that in Colombian cities. But look, you could buy like ponchos and sombreros and Colombia jerseys and hats, and just like any centro, you could buy a little bit of everything for a cheap price, and mostly 99% knockoff brands, because you know Colombians don't get paid much, so they can't afford original stuff, most of them. And when they can't afford original stuff, it's like the biggest flex. Oh look, these are original. My shirt, my shoes, my hat, whatever, you know. Look, another quesillo right there. I'm telling you, on every corner, man. In Medellin, it's the same. Look, one here, another one there. You've already seen 3, and I've only walked 2 blocks. Here they sell sugarcane juice. Guys, in Colombia, it's a pro tip. I mean, in any third world country, be very careful when you're crossing the street. Because a lot of times motorcycles blow red lights, and they're coming fast. They're like, look at how fast the trucks go. You could get very hurt if you get distracted crossing a street. Like even if it's your turn to walk, always pay close attention. And when you're crossing, look between lanes. If there's multiple lanes and there's like cars lined up, in between the lanes, people lane split on their motorcycles. So if you don't look, you'll get hit by a motorcycle. So that's a tip for y'all to be safe on the streets here in Colombia, because I see accidents too often. People on motorcycles, pedestrians being hit. Unfortunately, people don't follow the rules as much as they should, and there's a lot of motorcycles, man. So when you're on a motorcycle, it's easy to weave through the little cracks and crevices, you know? Where are we at? Oh man, this is the bad area, I think, that we passed on the bus, is it? I don't know where I am, man. I don't know Pereira. I'm not familiar with Pereira, so. There's got to be a sign somewhere that says. Look, right here it should say something. Bro, I have no idea what's this called here. Well, let's see what we can figure out over here. Let's see if we can figure out the name of this park. 'Cause I don't see it anywhere. Usually it'll be like a sign or something that says the name of it. Check it, guys. Qué pena, ¿sabes cómo se llama aquí este parque? Libertad. Libertad. Oh, this is it, bro. This is a bad area. It looked, I don't know why it like looked different to me on the bus. But yeah, I already did a lap. There's not much to see here except people smoking weed and like, you know, people selling coffee and bread and stuff. And I'm sure since there's probably points where they sell drugs around here, people are probably using, and there's probably people who sell, so the camera's not very welcome in this type of area. Yeah, so that was Parque Libertad. When I got here to Pereira, I actually filmed this before I lost my other camera. But I asked the taxi driver, like, is there like no-go zones in Pereira, like places you'd recommend avoiding? And he said, Parque La Libertad, don't go there. But yeah, it kind of didn't feel that safe, to be honest, it didn't. So if you come to Pereira, I wouldn't really recommend going there either. But look, we're like a block away from the Parque La Libertad here. So now we're in el Parque de la Fuente here in Pereira. I think that's what it's called. So there's a big fountain in the middle. It's not on right now. So interesting fact about Pereira. Pereira is known, unfortunately, as la cuna de la prostitución en Colombia, the cradle of prostitution in Colombia. And let me explain to y'all why. It has a historical significance. Pereira is really in the middle of three major Colombian cities, the biggest cities in the country: Cali, Bogotá, and Medellin. It's basically 4 to 5 hours away from each of those big cities. So it was a point where a lot of travelers would come through when they were transiting between the big cities. So because of that reason, Pereira became a place where there was demand for prostitution, since there were so many people coming in and out and in and out. And like a lot of men even had like a secret novia, a little secret girlfriend that they would always come visit here when they were away from home. And that's how it got that esa fama, like we say in Spanish, that name. And a lot of people, I made a video about this issue on my TikTok, and a lot of people were saying that's all they saw, but really prostitution, regardless of whichever city you go to, is concentrated in specific areas of the city. It's not like all over the place, so you'd only see it if you're hanging out in those areas. So those people who were complaining about that, it makes me suspect that you were just chilling in those areas, because if you don't go there, you won't see it. So this right here is like a medical school, as the kids are wearing scrubs. Man, it's sunny as hell and it's like drizzling right now. Yo, the heat in Pereira I think is worse. It's like more intense than in Medellin, for sure. Let's see. That's an interesting painting over there, right? So this right here is also part of the public transportation in Pereira. It's the same exact concept as the Transmilenio in Bogotá, the Mio in Cali, or the Metro Plus in Medellin. These stations that have their own special lanes for the buses, the doors open right there, people wait, and then get right on the bus. So here it's called Megabus. Megabus it's called. Look, those are the buses. So they stop, the doors open, people get on, and that's the public transportation. It's alright, I'm not really a fan of it. Hopefully in Bogotá they get their train soon, they get their metro train. Because the Transmilenio in Bogotá, man, it's horrible. And like this system of transportation is so-so. Medellin is really ahead of the curve in Colombia. The fact that they've had a train since 1995, I think it was inaugurated. But look, el Megabus de Pereira. Look, right here's another bus station. See a divider for the megabus lane and the regular lane. So right here is El Mercado, or La Galería de Pereira. If it has another name, let me know in the comments. If there's any Pereiranos watching. So I'm gonna look for lunch in here, in La Galería. So let's go in. Y'all know I always love going to galerías. Galerías are like marketplaces where they sell fruits, vegetables, meats, but they also have spots to eat lunch. And they're usually good because they get the ingredients fresh from the market. So look, the galería area. Buenas. Parece una pregunta para almorzar por acá. Adentro, ¿cierto? ¿Esto acá cómo se llama? La galería. La galería La 29. Ah, bueno. Listo. Gracias. La galería de la 29. ¡Hey! So look, they got meats, chicken, eggs, fruits. It's really small though, really, really small. They got everything you need. People eating lunch. I see lunch over here. Yeah, this is the spot where I ate last time. It was years ago that I was here. Years ago, like 3 years. Buenas. Hola. Buenas. Voy a dar mondongo.
Mondongo, por favor.
So they got mondongo here. Mondongo is like very typical Colombian. It's like a soup with cow intestine. And I know it sounds nasty, but it's actually really good. So look, these are the ladies cooking here. No tiene sudada. No tiene otra carne, solo frita. O si no, solo el mondonguito. Me puede dar el mondongo sin bandeja, sí. Yeah, so I don't like fried meat, so I'm just gonna have the mondongo without the bandeja, without the rice and beans. Alright guys, this is the mondongo. You see this right here? This is the cow intestine, these little pieces of meat you see. But it's got rice, potatoes, carrot, some spices. I'm letting it cool down a bit though, because man, it's so humid out, it's so hot out. And I'm sweating my balls off. I'm about to have a heat stroke if I eat this right now, so I'm letting it cool off a bit. Mondongo. Alright, so it'll cool down a bit. Let's take a little try. It's good, it's a classic mondongo. This one has rice in it though. I'm not used to it having rice. It's good. Oh, they also gave me jugo de lulo, a very common fruit that we use here in Colombia to make juice. It's like acidic, sweet fruit. Alright guys, finished the meal. She's over here cutting plátanos. ¿Cuánto le debo? Mondongo. Man, that's mad cheap, yo. 6,000.
No sea ladrona, le estoy comprando una sopa. Y esto es medio plato, por eso le dije yo allá paso.
Hasta luego, gracias. Oh man, I'm so full. And I only had mondongo. I didn't have the rice and beans and meat. So one thing I could definitely say about Pereira after having walked around a bit, soaking up the vibes, even though this is kind of obvious, it's less developed than Medellin. In terms of infrastructure, the buildings here are much older, not as maintained. And obviously it's a much smaller city, you know, and Risaralda is a much smaller department. It doesn't generate as much income as Antioquia, which is one of the richest departments in Colombia. Pereira, medium-sized city. There's not really much to do here. If you look up what to do in Pereira, like 90% of the activities are outside of the city. And nearby, there's a lot of beautiful places. There's small towns, there's the hot springs, there's hiking. You could even go to the snowy peaks of Los Nevados. The people here, they are paisa. They talk just as paisa. Their accent is the same as the people in Medellin. Their way of being, the paisa people are characterized as being a very friendly, hospitable people. And that's the case here in Pereira, just like it is in the whole paisa region. So all of this used to belong to Antioquia. Risaralda, Caldas, Quindío, all that used to be part of Antioquia. Eventually they split up and became separate departments. And those three departments, Quindío, Caldas, and Risaralda, are part of what make up the coffee region. Over here behind me, that's the Navy. They're probably recruiting some young chaps to join the Colombian Navy.
A las personas que me colaboraron, mil y mil gracias. Dios bendiga sus hogares.
Chess, man. I know how to play, but I'm so bad at it. Like, you have to know strategy to do well in chess. Shout out to my dad, he taught me how to play chess when I was little. Well, this guy behind me making content too, but he's gringo, he's not Colombian like me. So support a Colombian content creator. I feel like I'm the only Colombian who's making content in Colombia in English. A lot of your favorite content creators who make content here, they're not Colombian. They don't got this in their blood. So support some talento criollo, talento criollo. Criollo is a word we use here to say native. You know, even though I was born in New York, my whole bloodline is Colombian. I'm a first generation American. Before me, like, my whole lineage was born here. I was probably the first person in my whole bloodline to be born outside of Colombia. So yeah, guys, I appreciate everybody who supports me, everybody who watches my stuff, likes, subscribes, follows, everything, man. I appreciate y'all for real. Chontaduro, borojo pequeño. El chontaduro y borojo lo traen del valle, ¿no? Es como del valle.
Chocó, Buenaventura, Cauca, Putumayo, Los Llanos, dependiendo de donde haya materia prima.
Sí. Ah, pensé que eso era todo del valle. No, pero ¿sabes qué? Yo soy de Antioquia. Yo he visto que en Antioquia, de hecho, se da el borojo. En algunas partes cálidas. Donde haga calor, ¿no?
Calor y humedad.
Calor y humedad. Está muy bueno este jugo.
Ah, bueno.
El más rico y original que hay aquí en la región.
Sí, pocas veces lo he probado.
Y más confiable.
Confiable este.
Muy confiable. Ellos son gente conocida, gente honorable, gente respetada y ya muchos años en esto. Yo pues por ahí en la calle cualquiera no me tomo.
Cierto.
Este sí, porque es para uno la fija, sabe con quién está.
El borojo chontaduro de San Andresito se llama, el local.
El mono chonta.
El mono chonta. It tastes like yogurt, man. It tastes like a sweet yogurt. El mero macho, ¿eso qué trae? Eso es como
El macho sirve para desinflamar la próstata, prevenir cáncer de próstata, para la actividad física, para la actividad sexual.
Ah, eso es como vitaminas.
Sí.
Ya están vendiendo todos quebradas, uno que da de coloración como amarilla para que se no vaya a darme.
No, yo como no compro y no directamente en Ecuador, profe. Yo no le recibo a nadie, así me lo estén regalando, qué barato, que
¿De Ecuador?
Sí, el original es de Ecuador.
Sí. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I've had borojo chontaduro in Cali before. That was the best one I ever tried in my life, bro. It was like, I don't know why, man. It just tasted like the flavors were so like sharp and ripe. Like, it tasted very fresh. So yeah, he said they bring the fruits from all over, from Chocó, from Valle, from, I forgot where else he said. But it has to be humid and hot for the borojo. All right, guys, well, it's officially rush hour here in Pereira. Here we are in the center of the city. Still, I wanted to check out how rush hour looked like around here, and just as I expected, it's chaos. Colombia has 56 million people, man, so imagine. Rush hour, regardless of what part of the... Oh man, this guy's carrying a fridge on his back. Rush hour, regardless of whatever part of the country and whatever city you're in, is always insane. It's always insane. Oh look, this is the bike lane and the motorcycles are coming up in here. Bro. Whew. So what do you guys think so far, man? Let me know in the comments, what is your opinions of the city. If you've been here before, or if you haven't, just through what I've shown in the video. What do you think so far about Pereira, the capital, el eje cafetero, the coffee region of Colombia? Señor, ¿qué más? ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué bolígrafo me recomienda? Como uno que sea bueno para ortografía.
No, eso es tinta gel, vea, lo máximo para escribir. Vea el que me llegó nuevo. 07.
Ah, sí, una chimba. ¿Cuánto vale?
A 5.000.
Listo, deme dos de esos.
¿Se acuerda?
Eso es tinta gel, lo máximo para escribir.
¿Y esos son de acá de Colombia? ¿Dónde los trae?
No, eso es del otro lado. Estos son réplicas.
Réplicas, sí. ¿Y le va bien con este negocito aquí de bolígrafos?
Ahí sobrevive uno.
Sí.
Bendito sea Dios.
Man, that guy had like a deformity in his legs, but you see no excuse, man. He's out here, he puts a little cardboard on the street. He's not begging for money, like he has a little business, man. And I respect that so much, because there's so many people who are fully able-bodied and healthy and they just beg for money. Like, yo, he buys a bunch of pens and he sells them. He has some flashlights, some things, you know. It makes me want to help him more, you know what I mean? Because he's putting in effort, and it also makes me like upset at the people who just beg for money. Like, yo, this guy, he's completely like, his legs are like all deformed. If he can do it and get a business and you know, make an effort to salir adelante, like we say in Spanish, so should you, man. It's inspiring. It's inspiring, man. And these are the stories that you see, not just in Latin America, man. There's people in the US who going through a similar situation just like that. El rebusque, like we say in Colombia. El rebusque is like finding a way. This guy's eating out the trash. All right, guys, so this right here is El Parque Olaya de Pereira. There's la Gobernación de Risaralda, the government building of the Department of Risaralda. A little park, not much going on here. Some people smoking dope over there. I think there's a metro cable station over here, so let's check it out. Won't be a complete Pereira video if we don't ride the Mega Cable, so let's go see what's up with that. Regardless of where it takes us. Just curious to see how it is, what the view is like, you know. Oh man, it's a lot of stairs. Look at all these stairs. Ooh. There's an elevator too. I think most people go up the elevator. But look, this is the station. Man, I got winded right there. All right, let's buy a ticket. Alright guys, this is the Mega Cable here in Pereira. It's mad awkward because everyone's silent and I'm talking here, but whatever. We gotta do this YouTube thing. Y'all see the view over there. Back there is El Centro, we're leaving it behind. Y'all see what I mean? Like the city's it's not like that modern. You look at it and it doesn't really look, it looks very old. Like the buildings, the structures look very old. They look kind of dirty, honestly. And there's some small sectors of the city that are nice and more modern, but in general, the city looks like this, from what I've seen. I got off on the last stop of the metro cable in Brisas. That's the name of the station. There's not much over here. It looks like favelas with the landscape. This is all coffee. All these hills have coffee and plantain planted. The favelas in the backdrop. Crazy. So yeah, guys, this is like on the outskirts of Pereira, man. Like from the Parque Olaya to get here, it took like 20 minutes, man. Like going outside of the city, man. You can't even see Pereira from here. I mean, I think this belongs to Pereira, but it's just far out from like the center. But look, I don't know what it's called here. Brisas is the name of the metro station. And man, look how much I'm sweating. Sweating crazy, bro. The humidity here is next level. Definitely more humid than Medellin. You sweat just standing still. Vallenatico. Kids playing. Look at this cute little park. It only has 3 swings. It's a nice little green area. They got flowers here. It definitely is a more low-income area for sure, but it doesn't feel unsafe. Like, I'm not getting that vibe. But you know, when there's low-income areas, there's always gangs that control the area and control the drug points. So you always got to be careful where you film. And sometimes they're not too fond of like unfamiliar faces in these areas. So just got to be careful, but don't be overly paranoid either. You know, it's a little more delicate when you're filming around. It doesn't seem bad, you know. But it's always better to be cautious, because you know we are in Colombia. We are in Colombia. So yeah, guys, I guess you could say this is like the hood of Pereira. Seems like a calm hood though, but it definitely has a hood vibe to it. If anybody knows the name of this area, let me know. Let me know what it's called, because I'm new here in Pereira, man. I'm a new face. I'm a new face in town. Yeah, guys, let's hop on the Mega Cable and go back, because I'm tired, man. I've been walking all day. Let's go. So you can see where we were before. It's mad far from Pereira. Like here, now you can see the city, but it's like all the way back there, bro. Look, there's all coffee down there. All the way back there. And then here you can see the whole city, like the center area. And look, that lady staring at me from her balcony. You can tell these people definitely pay more rent than the people out there. Look, another pool. Another pool down there. Alright, so this is the bus terminal, the Mega Cable bus terminal station. So tired right now, guys. When you're making YouTube videos, you definitely get your steps in. I think any YouTuber will know that. The step count goes crazy. My feet and my legs are sore. El terminal de Pereira. So this cable starts at Parque Olaya near El Centro Terminal. There's one stop over there, and then the last stop is Las Brisas, all the way over there, where it's like kind of like a hood area. I think this is the only cable in Pereira. I'm pretty sure it's the only one. Back in La Terminal. Oh, so this is where the entrance is. It's over here. Yeah, like I said before, Pereira is right in between the 3 biggest cities in Colombia. Cali, Bogotá, and Medellin. It's a very important transportation point. So this terminal, a lot of people move through here every day. You can go to Bogotá, Cali, Medellin, Chocó, Manizales, Armenia. I had to take a shower and chill for a bit and hydrate. I haven't drank water in a minute. I'm all sweaty and sticky inside. Destruido. So we back at the crib, guys. Look at the beautiful sunset. in conclusion, I would say that Pereira is a similar city to Medellin. I guess I understand why people say it's a mini Medellin. The people are very friendly. The people are very paisa. The food is the same. Culture. The city has a similar feel to it. It's very green and, you know, warm, mountainous, coffee. So I get the vibe. The differences is, like I said, it's a much smaller city. It's a less developed city. It's less modern. What else could I say? It's more flat. It's more humid. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll catch you in the next one.